Yeah, them Egyptians, they about to get some judgment too, man. You got it, huh?
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
That's right.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Yeah, all the kings of the nations. North Korea, Kim Jong-un. I forget the damn president. I forget the president in China, his name, but that dude, the guy in South Korea, Putin, like the brother said. You got Angela Merkel. You got Emmanuel Macron. You got Recep Erdogan. You got all these other nations, man. They ready to obliterate, huh? Yeah, they ready to They ready to obliterate this place, man.
He always calling out America, right? Freehold the church. No, he's always calling America.
Yep. Fucking what's his guy name? Down there in Venezuela, the president of Venezuela. What's his name? No. The president of Venezuela, man. His name is That's it, go, brother. That's it. Nicolas Maduro. Because the Americans, remember, they tried to fucking assassinate him with the fucking drone. Remember that shit? The drone exploded right there, right in front of him, man. When they was having that parade and shit, man. These nations, they ready to get busy, man.
And he survived.
Yeah, he survived that shit, bro. Yup. Because America, that's all they try to do. They be the one, because we know that the so-called Jews, they fund both sides of the war, man. So anytime it's a coup, I remember it was a coup in Turkey. They tried to get that dude out of office. And it was a coup in a lot of brothers don't know about it, but it was a coup in Iran as well before, man. All right, because it goes back to the Anglo-Saxon Iranian oil company case. Brothers need to get familiar with that. But that was because BP, man, it's some shit, man. But you keep going, brother. Watch. I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. And I'm gonna read verse 10.
Let me say this real quick, Salaki, brother. It was a coup. Yeah, the Iranian coup of 1953. All right, it was an Iranian coup. All right, and coup supporters celebrate victory in Tehran, right? Because they had this prime minister named Mohammad Mossadegh, all right, and he didn't want to recognize this treaty that they had with the Americans, and they had made this agreement it was a 60-year contract that they was allowed to mine over there and get oil from over there. That's where you get BP from, because BP that stands for the British British Petroleum, but it was at one time called something else. Here it is, Salaki. Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, man. All right. It was the UK alleged that the Iranian Oil Nationalization Act of 1951 was counter to a convention agreed upon by the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, now BP, right? In Iran, right? So that's what BP used to be called, the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, and they was going against Iran, which they had set up an agreement in 1933 that granted the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company a 60-year license to mine oil in 100 square miles of Iran in return for a percentage of royalty. And then that dude Muhammad, he was like, nah, bro, y'all ain't about to rape us like that. And then that's in America, they funded the coup against them in 1953 and took that dude out and put somebody else up in office that was gonna honor their agreement. Yeah, to honor that agreement, bro. You know? So all these nations, it's a lot of shit, man, that people don't know about, that these Americans have done to not just these people on this side right here alone, but all the other nations, bro. The Edomites, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, they went to war in Vietnam, you know. They fighting over that land, what is it, Okinawa?
Yeah, Japan. Yeah.
So they raised the war over there, and they don't really want their presence over there in that land and whatnot. Like the people really want them out of there. So it's all kind of stuff they do in these other nations where they don't really want to retaliate. And they starting to do so because they starting to form alliances, like BRICS nations, you know, they're the BRICS, you know.
Yeah.
They starting to form alliances together without America, operating with currencies outside of the US dollar.
Hey, that's the thing that these other heathen nations fail to realize. Just because it ain't America, they still fucking Edomites, man. At the end of the day, it's gonna be the same result. Yeah, it's the same fucking treachery, man. You know,
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
right.
Art thou become like unto us?
Yeah, because in the kingdom of heaven, they gonna talk shit about the nation, about the Edomites. You had 50 Cent when he came out with that UK stuff, but you know, basically, in so many words, that's basically what they gonna say to Esau. Damn, homie, in America, you was the man, homie, what the fuck happened to you? Keep on.
They gonna be the fell from their throne. They gonna be dethroned.
That's right.
Hey, the Lord said in the book of Jeremiah, man, he gonna roll them down from the rock.
That's right.
This is Isaiah chapter 14.
That's right. Jeremiah 51:25.
Isaiah 14, verse 11. Like pump is brought down to the grave.
We was already talking about that pump, that pride, why this devil proud, because he had this information that nobody else had. You know, he had access to it. Now he ain't so proud, because everybody know, we know the same thing he know, like you said earlier. You got it.
We're not ignorant of his wicked devices.
That's right.
Thy pump is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee.
Yeah, the worm is spread under you, man. This place corrupted, man. All right? How you think America was founded? It was founded on corruption, man. All right? Embezzlement, fraud, oppression. All right? The worm is spread under you, man. Corrosion. This place, that's why the infrastructure in this place, if you was to do a fucking, it was this one video I watched. It was, I believe it was last year. And this individual, he was basically giving America a grade for their infrastructure, right? And he gave them a fucking L. Because why? Because America, they during the 40s and the 30s and shit, America was known for what? They factories and shit. You know, they different factories. You know, like down in the steel yard.
They were like a superpower.
Yeah, right. But you know, down in the steel yard, for example, like the big factories out in Detroit. Yeah, right. And all that shit, right? It's basically abandoned buildings now, man. You know, so he gave America he gave them an F for their fucking infrastructure, man. Which going into the scripture that the brother reading, the worm is spread under you.
That's right.
They corrosion, that corruption, man. And this corruption inside, and that's what it do. It starts from the top and it trickles down, man. You know? The politicians is corrupt, the president is corrupt, the fucking journalist is corrupt. 2/3 of the nation Israel is corrupt. The scriptures say that in Psalms 73rd chapter, man. He said they are corrupt, man. Okay? You got it out.
He says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Yeah, heaven is
Bullshit. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Yeah, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? And when you go into that word Lucifer, it just means a light bearer. Because the so-called white man, the scripture say that in woe to thee that put darkness for light and light for darkness, right? Because the light that the so-called white man claimed to have, it was not light. It was actually darkness, man. Scripture talk about arise for thy light has come, roughly paraphrasing. The valor was shouted at devils. The scripture talk about
For the nations.
in Romans the 13th chapter, they talk about put off the darkness, roughly paraphrasing, and put on the light, roughly paraphrasing. You got it.
It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
Right, they did us weaken the nation. Now when you go back into Daniel the 7th chapter, it talk about the beast, all right, the fourth beast that was stronger than any other. And people like to say that, that's the Roman Empire. But the scripture said that they were gonna conquer and devour the earth, man. Which you know that's talking about America. America gotta go, man.
That's right.
Hey, we don't want to win no $1 million Powerball, man. All right? That ain't gonna make you. It cuts a lot. All right, we don't want no $1 billion goddamn Powerball, man. You know?
Why? Cause we can't enjoy it. We under the curses, man.
Right.
We can't enjoy nothing here.
Right. Cuz.
Turn away with it. Serving them all cycle. I gotta get
get this. I gotta get that.
Hey, man.
That set that shit on fire like Heath Ledger and Batman. He burnt up
No,
that-
like Frank Lucas did the fucking coat. The fur coat, when he put it in the fireplace.
Oh yeah, come.
Yeah.
But like my nigga Heath Ledger, when he played the Joker in the movie Batman. Yeah, they robbed the banks in America and all that stuff like that, and then he burnt up half of the money, bro. You know, that's what I'd do to that $1 billion. That $1 billion ain't that $1 billion is worth nothing, man. It's monopoly money. At the end of it. And the scripture says what? Labor not to be rich, roughly paraphrasing. Set not thy heart upon that which is not. All right. The scripture also talk about that riches profited not in the day of wrath. So just because you got money, you a millionaire and a billionaire, that's not gonna save you or deliver you from the up-and-coming destruction that's coming to this place. You know?
And that's the spirit, because one brother said that you got niggas like Floyd Mayweather, all these different people with money in the society that's gonna be coming up to the man of the Lord like, look, man, I give you $50,000, tell me what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and we gonna tell them niggas such as for the devil, to the sword, to the sword.
That's right.
Right, and the famine, because that's all gonna happen, man.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Yeah, that's what the so-called white man said. But what the administration, the Reagan administration, that's what these Edomites or these Americans, that's what they ascended to heaven. All right, we're talking about in the outer space, man. Okay, go ahead.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Right, and the stars of the Most High is talking about who? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians. All right, that's why the so-called white man, he exalted himself above the thrones of the Most High, above the stars of Yahweh, the stars of the Lord. And how did the so-called white man exalt himself above us? Doing his in his public school system. All right, it was one individual said, if a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Seminole Indian man go into a public school system and he graduates and come out and think that he's superior to the so-called white race, then the school system failed him. And then they also said if an Edomite, a so-called white person, go into the school system and he thinks that he's inferior to these people on his side right here, then the school system has failed him, man. That's how this devil exalts itself above the stars of the Most High, man.
And that's why the scriptures say, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking the earth as servants.
That's right. Hey, they wicked in general because they got a third grade prisoner pipeline, man. You know, where they pretty much they do like a statistic on children, how they gonna go to jail, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
out of which race or whatnot.
Yeah, con, that's a spirit, bro. Right.
I said they got like a school to prison pipeline, saying like at certain ages, out of let's say out of so-called African American males, the tribe of Judah males, let's say 1 in 3 of y'all gonna go to jail by the time y'all hit 18. Right. That's statistic in that sense.
Yeah. And that's how the so-called white man exalt himself above the stars.
And they do
the Most High.
That's right. And that's exactly, brother. And they doing tests on like all the way from that age, from like being in the third grade. Man. You know?
Right.
All the way up to like 18.
Another way how the so-called white man exalt himself above the stars of the Most High. All right. And when you go into these different colleges, what do they teach you in college? They teach you about white American history. They don't teach you about your ancestry. They don't teach you about that in the colleges of these collegiate academies, man. That's another way how the so-called white man try to exalt himself above the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Seminole Indian man.
Hey,
all right?
Original college was a teacher about the scriptures. That's right.
Yeah,
The original
because
college.
everything, the way that this society is set up, is basically set up. Basically, they get everything from the scriptures, but they do it. They don't do it proper. They don't do it the right way that they're supposed to do. Okay.
yeah, it is. And also, man, you know, you go into like the suburbs, you see like
What Bible are you reading?
with their statues,
King James.
you know, they exalt themselves with the little, you know, like how they set up the neighborhoods and shit like that, man, over how your living conditions are.
Right.
You know?
Oh, and another.
Ghettos, and they got big ass mansions and shit.
When you go into that word project, what it mean? Experiment. This is
Right.
something that they was
No, and because Salakia just escaped me. It was another way that these devils exalt themselves above the stars of Yahweh is by what? They laws and legislation and their policies and their wicked decrees that they write into office. Because we all know that the main people that write laws and pass legislation is who? White people. And that's how they exalt themselves above us. They try to make us criminals, you know, when in all actuality, the so-called white man, he the biggest criminal on the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's true. Cause when you talk about drug selling, who sell the so-called white men sell drugs on a major scale?
They're bringing this
Raping.
shit over here.
When you talk about raping, murdering, like the white men do things on a bigger scale.
Right, and then another, as the scripture say that, because what? That's how they exalt themselves, because they do what? They write laws and legislation and say that it's okay to sell pharmaceuticals and these different drugs, oxycodines and, you know, these different Percocets and Xanax and codeine and all these different things like that, man.
Yeah, they got they selling Percocets out of a pharmacy on the corner.
Right.
So you got Jake probably got a legal trap house, but then Esau set up a so-called legal trap
Which
house.
is a which the pharmaceutical industry is $1 billion industry.
That's right,
Would that go back to witchcraft? Pharmakia, would that go back to witchcraft, man? All right.
Right,
But nobody don't have nothing to say about that, man.
Right.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13 again. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Right?
I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Oh, you was just reading that in 2 Thessalonians. Who exalted himself above
right.
that which is called the
That's
right.
why I was grabbing this
Oh, yeah.
when I start up.
Come on.
That's the spirit.
All right. Well, then
Yeah.
look how it come back around,
it came
though.
full circle.
Come on.
It says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yeah, in the size of the north. We in North America right here. And the majority, the amount of the congregation, because the majority of the Israelites is what?
Hey,
In America.
you know that take great pride to come to a land that's already preoccupied and then claim it to be yours, and then set up your image over the motherfuckers. It's like not motherfuckers, over the people who was already here anyway, man. You know how much pride that is? That's a slap in the face, and then they go and give them like a so-called goodie, give them some casinos and reservations, you know, to stay in, man. Meanwhile, you took their whole land away.
Yeah.
Removed the landmarks and everything, man.
Yeah, the Indian Removal Act, you know, what these goddamn devils.
Then they dress up
So
as
you know what they also do? Like yeah, kind of like yes, they also like dress up. Yeah. Or you know, there was even like this one movie. It was like this one-man movie with it was supposed to be like Huey Newton, and he was like talking about that. You gotta check it out. It was starring that guy that was that half black, half Italian guy from Malcolm X. Or like anyway, or you know another thing they do is you know they claim to be like Gadites and all that.
Yeah,
Or, you know, some of them are confusion of face, but there's a lot of Edomites that that try to like pull that card.
Yep.
But what they do, they end up getting benefits for that.
Yep. Hey, because when they go back into when they do like the ancestry shit, they like come up with the conclusion that they a certain percentage of they have Native American heritage, man. You know?
That's wicked, man. That's why the Lord gonna take them out, man. Because here it is, they'll throw you in jail, for identity fraud, identity
That's
theft.
right. You're right.
And meanwhile, they doing the most kind of identity fraud there is, man, claiming themselves to be us. You know, like the brother said, call themselves the tribe of Levi. You know, and also the tribe of Gad, man. Come on, man. That's like a slap in the face. That's a complete hypocrite.
Inexcusable.
You know? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. It says, it's 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Right. I will be like the Most High.
Right. Oh, these devils ascended above the heights of the clouds when they went into with they international space program. Right. With their international space program. Right. And they say they're gonna be like the Most High. Right. Oh, but the reason why YouTube was shut down, right? Because you have a live feed on YouTube that brings you live feed that from the heavens, right? Of the moon and the sun, all right, and the earth, all right. Yeah, right. And then what? You niggas want to be like the Most High, but y'all shut down. Come on, man.
And it run 24/7.
24/7. It's a live feed. And that's why the reason why YouTube was shut down in the first place, because they seen something going into the moon and coming out of the moon, man.
And they was trying to do away with the video.
Yo. But they still, the video still surfaced though.
Still surfaced.
Yep. Go ahead, I forget.
Isaiah chapter 14.
Yeah, and another way that the so-called white man try to be like the Most High, he do things like cloning, all right? He try to ultimately, how do you be like the Most High? Oh, they sacrificing to the so-called white man. They do blood sacrifices to him.
That chip.
I was just about to say
And
that.
all knowing, because the Most High is all knowing.
That's the spirit, what you just said is true. That's the ultimate form, because they gonna try to, hey, that's one of the ultimate prophecies that we're looking for, man.
Right.
They RFID chip to be presented, to be mandated, man.
And how is they, when the RFID chip become mandatory, that's how the so-called white man really gonna think that he's like the Most High, because the scripture tell you in Ezekiel 28th chapter, there's no secret that they can hide from me. Because you can't hide from the Most High, right? So the so-called white man in turn gonna think that he's the Heavenly Father, because ain't shit that Jake gonna be able to do without the so-called white man knowing that he did it, man.
And another thing, we belong to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. When the so-called white man put that chip into you, that's like branding you. When you own cattle, you used to brand them.
That's right, brother.
Hey, that's the spirit, because me and the brother was just down there talking about it, during the Sunlight Free. We were talking about how Esau gonna try to use the blockchain, where he gonna want to try to watch your every transaction. He gonna want to keep a record of everything that you're doing, every record that you're doing, coming and going. Like the scripture said, they watch our footsteps, they watch our steps, man. They follow your path, man, on every level, man. Hey, that's one of the worst feelings, I must say, even at work, dude. You got somebody always looking over their shoulder, watching your every move, like trying to correct you, like, no, you gotta do it like this, you gotta do it like that, man. Because they really watch our steps. But no, ultimately, that's them trying to portray themselves, trying to be like the Most High.
Right, and that's the spirit that the brother made mention of that. Oh, because that's how they do the animals in the wilderness, man. They get dolphins and they fucking tag them. They get lions and kangaroos, and they tag them and shit, to keep tabs on them, and to basically learn how they survive and how they live and things like that, man.
That's right, which is fucking asinine, man. And they trying to do it to us. Trying to make you a human guinea pig. This is Isaiah 14, verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Right, thou shalt be brought down to hell, man. Hell is the grave, man. Right? It ain't no play where you burn for fucking ever for eternity, man.
It says to the sides of the pit.
To the size of the pit, man. Yeah, because we gonna throw you niggas in the pit, man, like the movie Battlefield Earth, man. Oh, well, yeah, Holes too. Battlefield Earth, man, when was John Travolta, he was the leading actor, and you had Forrest Whitaker, he was the supporting actor, and they was throwing niggas in the pit, man, feeding them niggas mush. They call them rat brains. Now we gonna call you Edomites so they keep having rat brains.
Hey, man, the Lord is gonna go away with you, man. Isaiah 59 and 19. The enemy shall come in like a flood. The Most High shall lift up a standard against them, man. How about y'all is gonna defend us, man? Y'all gonna still fail at the end of the day. The wisest decision would be just to surrender, man. But we know y'all not going to, because y'all full of pride. Y'all don't believe, It says here, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee.
Yeah, niggas gonna see the so-called white man and think like, hold on, man, ain't no motherfucking way this dude was the one running it. There's no way. That's what they gonna consider. They gonna think about it. Because when you go into that word consider, it being basically to think upon. They gonna think. Yeah, they gonna think about like, hold on, man. This nigga in hell no. Yeah, this what? Come.
He really is the devil. Because he gonna start to show his horns too, man. Like he already doing now. Killing you, he's getting away with it. Calling the cops on you for minor bullshit. Selling water, living in an apartment.
So like, he's just trying to go in his house.
He's trying to go in his own house.
And like that movie Paid in Full, when Cam, when the dude Ace synced it was Calvin. Remember Calvin came in with his mask on to hit a lick on him, and then he see them. He was like, oh, that's Calvin. Calvin done covered his face like, yeah, it's me. That's how the so-called white man gonna be. He tried to hide himself all this time. Now he being exposed, so he gonna show you the devil. Plain view.
Yeah, just like in those Scream movies where like the villains actually like reveal,
Right.
or and then they flip the script.
Come on.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee strange. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
We always like to correlate this with Wizard of Oz. When they got to the to the Yellow Brick Road, and they put that Toto fucking ran up there and pulled a curtain down, and it was the fucking Edomite back there controlling shit, doing all this shit, man.
Or like a Wiz. They had the one for the same shit.